In this live stream, I'm going to show you the 15 benefits of cloves, and the last benefit is the most surprising. So it's really important that you stay until the end of the video to not miss out on this valuable information. Oh, cloves originate from the Maluku Islands, which are in Indonesia. And for many centuries, these Maluku Islands were the only place where cloves were produced. And there, many years ago, 500 to 600 years ago, back in the Middle Ages and Renaissance, cloves were already highly valued. They were used in cooking and medicine, and this dates back thousands of years. So let's get straight to the 15 benefits of cloves, okay? The 15th benefit is the antimicrobial properties, and this is mainly because cloves are rich in a substance called eugenol. And eugenol fights bacteria, fungi, and viruses. And one of the most common uses of cloves is in dental infections, cavities, and also gum inflammations. To give you an idea of these antimicrobial properties of cloves, scientists have been studying, and they have found that when cloves are used along with an antibiotic, it can increase the minimum concentration of that antibiotic by up to 1,000% required to completely inhibit bacterial growth. So let me repeat. Cloves can increase by 1,000% the minimum necessary concentration, the minimum antibiotic concentration necessary to completely inhibit bacterial growth. What does this mean, put simply? That cloves can enhance the action of some antibiotics. Why is this great? Because when we use smaller doses, we don't expose people to as many side effects. And also, when we have lower doses, we further reduce the risk of bacterial resistance, which is a highly relevant problem that we as doctors always have to monitor. Why? More and more. The more we use antibiotics, the greater the risk of bacterial resistance. So I got tired of catching a patient with a urine test, for example, and the bacteria present in the urine being resistant to all the antibiotics tested. That's because this person has used so many antibiotics that the bacteria that colonize them are already resistant to the drugs they usually use. So that's the 15th benefit, the antimicrobial properties. The 14th is analgesic properties. And then it also justifies the classic use in dental infections, in gum inflammation, because the people back then used it to treat toothache. And to do this, simply apply directly to the affected tooth. So every morning, I don't have a toothache. I've never had a toothache. But every morning, I take my cloves, wake up and chew my cloves, and then I swallow normally. It tastes a bit spicy, but what I find most interesting is the breath it leaves. It's a very refreshing breath. It tastes really good in your mouth. The 13th benefit is the improvement in digestion, because cloves stimulate the production of some digestive enzymes. And in addition, it can also reduce inflammation of the intestinal tract, the intestinal gastric tract. It can relieve nausea, gas, and also indigestion. The 12th benefit is the relief of muscle and joint pain, because cloves are rich in beta-caryophyllene, which has analgesic and also anti-inflammatory properties. The 11th, it can fight skin problems. It can be used topically, in the form of a cream, a clove-based cream, for example. There are a few formulations of this form. It is good for fighting acne, pimples, fungal infections. This is largely due to the antimicrobial effect of cloves that we talked about in the 15th benefit. I've already eaten my cloves, my breath is already refreshing. It's good. I wouldn't say it's delicious, but it's not bad either. The 10th benefit is its potential to control blood sugar because of cloves, as well as other condiments like other spices such as cinnamon and ginger. It can improve insulin sensitivity because it's rich in eugenol, which we talked about previously, and also rich in polyphenols. The 9th benefit is the antioxidant properties. Again, due to its rich polyphenol content, it's good for combating free radicals produced by oxidative stress, leading to aging and premature cell death. So cloves can protect our cells from the damage caused by oxidative stress. The 8th benefit is that it protects the digestive system, primarily because of its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. It may even be able to inhibit the growth of H. pylori, the bacteria that grows in the stomach and duodenum, which can cause ulcers and increase the risk of gastroesophageal reflux and gastritis. So when we use cloves, as they fight the growth of H. pylori, we can reduce the risk of gastritis, peptic ulcers, and gastric ulcers. In addition, cloves can also help with irritable bowel syndrome, especially if it's used on an empty stomach. As I mentioned earlier, it reduces gas, bloating, and indigestion. The 7th benefit is that it can help fight lung diseases, so it can help protect against asthma and COPD, largely due to its anti-inflammatory effect. Anti-allergic, which ends up reducing the signs and symptoms of allergic respiratory conditions. The 6th benefit is the treatment of inflammation and also skin diseases, once again due to the anti-allergic effect. So it can be used as a cream or an ointment. So someone with acne, psoriasis, or an insect bite can use cloves. An interesting cream is to mix cloves with turmeric and aloe to make a cream or an ointment and apply it to your skin. It can be an excellent option. Moreover, the analgesic power relieves osteoarthritis pain, can accelerate your recovery post-workout, decreases oxidative stress in the muscles, and also improves muscular recovery. So that's also one of the reasons why I use cloves every day. So I eat cloves, drink my water with apple cider vinegar, take my propolis, and then do my aerobics on an empty stomach. It's been wonderful. It's changed my quality of life. Again, the anti-diabetic properties because it suppresses the inflammatory response of hyperglycemia. So, hyperglycemia, the excess sugar in the blood, it has the power, the potential to generate inflammation in our body. And then cloves can reduce this inflammation caused by excess sugar in the blood. In addition, cloves also increase the expression of genes called GLUT2, GLUT3, and GLUT4 genes, and this ends up improving the uptake of glucose by the cells. So, cloves improve insulin sensitivity. We always talk here about insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance. What does that mean? What is it? Insulin, one of its functions is to stimulate our cells to capture sugar from our blood. When our cells are insulin resistant, it needs a lot of insulin to get them to pick up sugar from the blood. So what happens? When they are resistant, when they're not sensitive to insulin, they can't get the sugar out, take the glucose out of the blood, and put it into the cell. As a result, we end up with an excess of sugar in the blood. So cloves also have the potential to lower your blood glucose levels, reduce your fasting blood glucose, and reduce your glycated hemoglobin. The third benefit is that it protects from cardiovascular disease, mainly by helping to reduce cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Oh, the second benefit, we almost got to the first one. The first is the main thing. The second benefit is that it slows down aging. It slows down the aging speed of cells, can help treat, and also help prevent neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. This is largely due to the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant actions. This ultimately improves the cognitive functions of the brain and also slows down the deterioration of neurons. Guys, share this video, huh? Sharing health is an act of love, so share without pity. Send this video to all your WhatsApp groups. I count on your help to make this valuable content go viral. We arrived at our first benefit, which I was very surprised to discover, which is a potential antidepressant of cloves because it has a mechanism of action very similar to the mechanism of action of a class of antidepressants that was widely used in the past. And what is the exact function of the clove in relation to depression? Because it inhibits an enzyme called monoamine oxidase. This monoamine oxidase is the enzyme responsible for degrading norepinephrine, dopamine, and also serotonin. And one of the theories behind depression is precisely a deficiency of serotonin, a deficiency of norepinephrine. Even so, the main antidepressant medications are serotonin uptake inhibitors or serotonin and noradrenaline uptake inhibitors. So cloves, by inhibiting MAL, have the potential to increase the concentration of serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline, thus improving depressive signs and symptoms. So there's a class of antidepressant drugs called MAL inhibitors, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, which is how cloves work. Folks, warnings, contraindications, coumarin anticoagulants. If you use warfarin, it is not good to take cloves or talk to your doctor first. Another thing, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, avoid using cloves. Use only with assistance, with the recommendation and supervision of your doctor. Doctor, I don't like to chew the cloves. What can I do? You can use it as a spice in food or in the form of tea. So it's very easy to make clove tea. You'll take a few units of cloves, not sure if we call it units of cloves. Anyway, you'll take some cloves and put them in boiling water for 6 or 7 minutes until the water turns yellow. It will color the water. Then let it cool down and drink your clove tea. All of this will help you ensure the benefits that cloves can provide you.